size. Alright, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So, I'm going to read 2 poems from my chapbook that I wrote this semester. Woo! And then I'm going to change it up and read a story that I wrote like 4 years ago. It's a Christmas story. I'll say nothing more. Alright. How a lone feather chases. You compose my dreaming head out of cumulonimbus mist. You watch the sky smear light and drip gray. Clouds form seagulls, seashells swallow sounds. Barges drift away while whales push the current towards us. You are a blanket over the atmosphere. You are a feather. How light submerges. In caves there are kaleidoscopes exploding, melting into crevices after light years collide. Our minds are always weaving across each other without touching. Colors change, you whisper that you are forgetting what the world is like, but you whisper colors and the world changes. Alright. So I wrote this in like a fiction workshop way back when, and I don't really write that much fiction anymore. Unless it's like children themed, so I guess reading this story will explain why. Okay. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice. He has to make his choice. Raspberry chipotle sauce, ketchup, teriyaki sauce, or a small tub of Land O'Lakes butter. He knows that steak is on the menu for this evening, but he also knows that a steak isn't a steak without the right sauce. He sits on a black plastic bench, waiting for his 2 o'clock bus to arrive. His stomach rumbles. A young girl with dark hair and pigtails runs up to him, pulling her mother by the hand. Santa, Santa! She plops her body on his lap so that her right pigtail brushes against his fake white mustache. He lets out a jolly ho 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 to make her and her mother feel at ease. So, for Christmas, I want a pet rabbit, a girl named Penelope. My mommy says they're too messy, but honey, come on, not today. I'm sure that Santa got your letter in the mail. The girl's mother glances at the fake Santa Claus with her daughter in her lap, gives him an awkward smile, and says, Happy Holidays. He looks up at the girl's mother and smiles slowly, pursing his lips together in an attempt to make his cheeks rosier. It's only 34 degrees out, but he feels sweat dripping down his white wife beater underneath his Santa suit. And to you as well. He looks down at the girl's soft porcelain white flesh. I'm sorry, little lady, but my bus is here. Don't you worry, though. He pauses and touches the tip of her nose with his pointer finger. I'll make sure your wish comes true, as long as you've been a good girl this year. Okay, but don't forget about me on Christmas, she says. He watches her walk away with her mother hand in hand. He takes note of the direction they're heading. He likes the girl's energy, her playfulness. I wouldn't dream of it, he whispers to himself. The bus pulls up and he enters. Merry Christmas, Santa, the bus driver says to him as he inserts his change. And to you as well, he replies, and smiles at him. His smile grows larger as he finds his way to his seat next to a window, 2/3 of the way to the back of the bus. He sits down and makes a point to smile at the young couple sitting across from him. They smile back. Almost everyone smiles back, which makes him feel powerful. He's come to find that the people that don't smile back are a waste of time anyway. His stomach rumbles. He decides to eliminate the teriyaki sauce from his list. Sometimes the teriyaki flavor distracts him from the taste of the meat. He's getting hungrier and does not know how much longer he can wait. When he closes his eyes, he sees a slab of meat taunting him behind his eyelids. It's hard to make his stomach shake like a bowl full of jelly when he doesn't get enough protein. He thinks of the little girl with her rosy cheeks and pigtails and her angry mother. Maybe he could have invited them to dinner. The girl would have liked all of the toys and candies in his house. He wants to chuckle to himself, but instead keeps his lips composed in the same soft smile. He looks around at the other people in the bus. He is surprised to see his father with his rambunctious son sitting in the back. 2 small, bony elderly women sit across from him. Elderly women bore him, and it disappoints him that they seem to be taking over the bus on this particular afternoon. One of the ladies looks up from her newspaper and notices him staring at her. He immediately softens his expression when her eyes meet his. It is important that he always makes people feel comfortable, even if he finds them distasteful. She lets out a giggle and returns to her book. This is new, but he is too hungry to resent it. He looks back at the little boy bouncing in the chair next to his father, who is reading a book with a pissed-off look on his face. Things are not going ideally for Santa on this bus ride, and he needs a Christmas miracle. Luckily, the grocery store is only 2 blocks away. He thinks about his choices for his steak dinner tonight. He worries that the drizzled melted butter may not be enough to taste satisfy his taste buds in the slight chance that he does not find the slice of steak that he wants, even though it might be what he's most in the mood for. Ketchup, though an unconventional topping for most, is a safe bet for him. When in doubt, ketchup always satisfies. But it had been a while since his last steak dinner, and he wants something special, not a safe bet. This troubles him because he thinks the raspberry chipotle sauce might be too tart for his taste buds right now. But if he doesn't find the right meat, it may be necessary to add that extra fruity tang that the other options don't satisfy. He considers re-adding the teriyaki sauce. The bus pulls up to the stop in front of the grocery store. He's the only person getting off at the stop. He looks around and smiles at the bland older people and makes his way toward the front of the bus to exit. A few scattered snowflakes fall and blend into his fake white beard as he walks from the bus stop. Santa likes the chaos of snow. He enters the store and hears the familiar words of his favorite Christmas song echoing happily in his ears. He whispers to the tune merrily, picks a plastic basket, and begins his process in the candy section. He always checks the candy section first. But the candy section is empty, except for a middle-aged woman checking the nutrition facts on a bag of Werther's Originals. He wonders why a woman like her is shopping in the candy section. He feels frustrated by her presence, but does not pass her without giving her a kind smile. His smile brightens as he sees slabs of meat stacked along the back shelves of the store. He moves past them to the produce section. Making sure he has a clear view of the sliding doors, he stands next to the mound of winter squash facing the entrance. He picks up several squash one by one and pretends to observe them, but he doesn't like winter squash. He looks at the clock and notices that it is only 2:23. The grocery store is usually the most crowded at 2:30. He gets excited. 2 minutes pass, and he sees a short, disheveled girl around 18 or so walking through the sliding doors. She talks on her cell phone while pushing a grocery cart and a crying baby girl strapped into the child seat. She doesn't look like a mother, more like a babysitter. He loves babysitters. Next to her is a little boy. A rambunctious, chubby, perfect red-headed little boy with burning plump cheeks, short, pudgy legs, and a juggling tummy hidden under a red and green striped shirt. He jumps up and down and faces the girl. When he jumps, his extra body fat flies up and down. Santa smiles. The girl tilts her phone away from her mouth and quickly speaks to the excited young child. Santa sees her lips form the word milk, puts down the squash in his hands, and heads to the dairy section. He waits, breathing heavily. He looks at the butter. Without fail, the boy's small, scurried footsteps crescendo towards him. He turns to face him. The boy's face lights up immediately. Wow, Santa! He looks down at the boy's delightfully chubby face. He kneels down so that he is at eye level with him. Why, hello there, young man. What's your name? My name is Jeremy Wiley. I asked for a bike for Christmas. Am I going to get it? Please, please, please. Well, Jeremy, if I recall correctly, you are on my good list. Jeremy nods aggressively. Yes, well, I did something bad the other day. I kicked my friend Kyle in the face, but I didn't mean to, I promise. I was practicing karate. I want to be a karate man when I grow up. Ho, 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 a karate man? He continues to look at the boy with his kind eyes. The energy of this young boy excites him, and his heart beats faster as the kid's body wiggles with each happy bounce. So, are you the real Santa, or just one of his helpers? He softens his voice. My boy, my helpers are elves. They are busy at the North Pole making lots of wonderful toys for you and all of your friends. He pauses. He had almost forgotten about the babysitter. He looks around quickly. She isn't in sight. This makes him happy, but he knows he doesn't have much time. My sleigh is outside, but I have to warn you, I'm the only one who can whistle for my reindeer to come. Only very special boys can ride in my sleigh, but I can tell you are special, Jeremy. Yes, I want to ride in the sleigh. The boy beams at him. He gently grabs a tub of Land O'Lakes butter and smiles, sliding it into his pocket. All right. That's all.